Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Ernie C, the Gap Tooth Genius, and this is going to be episode 73, and I have Barbara Quiroz. How you
Hello.
doing?
Pretty good.
Nice to finally meet you, and it's still doing that, but we're going to cut that out. How you doing?
Okay. I'm doing good. It was a good day.
Was
So
it?
yes.
That's, man,
Busy.
that's like the story of my life, yo,
Yeah.
busy.
Yeah.
And, man, what do you think about the setup so far?
You know what? I love it. It's a good vibe.
I
I
think
like
it's
the
different,
colors.
right?
Yeah.
I
Very
think it's really different.
it's comfy.
This is,
Comfy.
it's real authentic. I think last week we learned a lot
Yeah.
about what not to do.
Yeah, I know, that's good.
I,
That's how it is.
I think we got to learn from
Yeah.
the L's,
Yes,
right?
all the time.
That's what all it's all about. So I'm really glad you came on the hike.
Thank you.
And so I want to have you on. We'll just get straight to it. I love what you do.
Thank you.
The inspiration you put out there and what you are, like you're advocate for. I love dogs.
Yes.
Like, oh my God, dude.
Who
So I'm
doesn't?
like,
Yeah.
I love watching. Like, some of the posts are crazy.
Yes, yes.
Um, I want to learn a lot about. I want the people to really understand. Because I don't understand what jiu-jitsu is. I have no idea. And
Yeah, well, jiu-jitsu, we see it a lot on UFC, right? So we see sometimes people getting submitted, and you're like, whoa, what's that crazy thing that they did on the ground? They did some leg lock. I don't know what they did, but yeah, jiu-jitsu is more like, you know what I mean? More like submissions, right? Trying to choke the person or break their limbs.
definitely,
So, without punching them.
that's
Or kicking them.
it's an art essentially,
Yes,
right?
an art.
And it's something. I think you're a warrior, yo. I think anytime you step in the ring, and I don't know, what do you guys call that? Is that a ring? Is that like
Well, the mats.
the
The
mats?
mats.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that's cool. I
Yeah.
like that. That's something I'm really interested in. Are you from Bakersfield, Barbara? You've been in Bakersfield all your life. I
All
don't
my
know
life.
much about you. This is
Yeah,
our
no,
first time
yeah,
meeting.
no, I've been here. I was born here, raised here. I've been here my whole life, 25
Definitely.
years. So
Definitely.
I love it, and I love it even more now because now I can go out and represent what Bakersfield, where Bakersfield's at, because everybody's like, what's that? Nobody knows.
Where
you
is
know?
that at? Like,
Yeah.
or they have that misperception of us. Like,
Yeah, like
it's
what?
just super gutter here. I'm
No,
like,
I
it's
get
not
you.
that bad,
Yeah,
right?
no,
It's not that bad.
It's not. So I'm really happy to represent
Definitely.
Bakersfield. So
And again, I think like last week I knew I wanted you on. I think we talked about this before last, like maybe the last month or so.
yeah,
I just needed really to get just get everything lined up,
no, for
and
sure.
we're still trying to get everything lined up. I
Yeah.
think I think your contribution to this podcast is going to be great. So
Thank you.
again, I really appreciate it, and
Yes.
I love your grind though, yo. So what's going on? So tell the people what's going on. It looks like you have so jiu-jitsu, is this competition like, are these official bouts? Are these official records? I don't know.
Yeah. So there's like many tournaments and many like organizations you can be a part of, like super fights, right?
Mm-hmm.
So super fights are just typically one-on-one,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have tournaments where you have like a whole bracket. So and like the last one I did, I know that you've probably seen Fight to Win.
Mm-hmm.
It was over there in Houston, Texas.
That's tight.
Right? Yeah, in Dallas. I'm sorry,
Okay,
it
I
was
see.
Dallas, and I did win, and that's one of the biggest platforms really on jiu-jitsu. It's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really nice to be a part of that on an all-women's card.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I really enjoyed it, and the vibe was just great. It was awesome. It was like professional, so it was something great to experience for the first
So
time.
they consider you a professional? Is that what they?
Lately people have been saying that about me, that I'm a professional, but I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, really? I'm just trying to get out there. I'm just trying to do my thing and
Yeah,
think,
definitely.
what I love. But I would say yes. And once you start getting to like the invitationals, like where they invite you or like win titles, like world
Like they
titles.
seek you. They're seeking
Yes,
you out.
exactly. Then
Cool,
that's
cool.
how and then like black belt level, like, okay, I am really a professional.
Okay, that's
But
cool.
yeah, we're working our way there, so and that's
So
kind of what I'm doing.
Your journey into jiu-jitsu, how did that start? I guess, what is it? So what's the title? Like, boxers are called boxers, MMA fighters, or what's the title for a jiu-jitsu fighter?
We're
What's
just jiu-jitsu fighters.
okay?
Yeah.
See,
Yeah,
I'm so
no, I get you
okay.
into it. Yeah, I know people are always like, "What is that? Like karate?" And I'm like,
Exactly,
"No,
and
no,
I'm not
no."
trying to say, oh, I know
Yeah.
Cobra Kai's like some big thing. I
Yeah.
don't watch that. I
Yeah.
never watched the Karate Kid in my life. I'm like
Yeah.
just not into that stuff.
No, not like karate at all. Like I said, if you watch the UFC and then you see people getting taken down,
Mm-hmm.
and then you start seeing people work like ground moves, like holding positions and trying to get submissions, that's what jiu-jitsu is. Really
Okay.
trying to control the other person.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did you get started in that? I know this is your passion, your love. So
Yeah. Well, I started when I was 19 years old. I was
Mm-hmm.
kind of like in a rough spot at the time. I was just going out, kind of doing things I probably shouldn't, and I was just really like in a dark spot, like really depressed. And then I had a friend that said, "Hey, like you should go to my buddy's gym. Like he does jujitsu." And I was like, "Cool. Like I don't know what that is,
Exactly,
right? But I'm
exactly.
gonna go check it out. I guess you fight." So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
"Okay, let me see." So then I went, and then I got beat up by like a 13-year-old,
Definitely.
and it happens. But yeah, after that, like I was just like, wow, this feels so amazing. Like you get your workout in, you learn self defense. Like I really love it. And then from there, since I kind of was already in a rough spot, I was like, why don't I just try something new,
Mm-hmm.
something I never did before. So I stuck with it, and now it's been 6 years. So I don't know, like I said, I just fell in love with it. You never actually know everything in jiu-jitsu. You're always going to learn every single
It's
time.
like life.
It's infinite, yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
like
it's
life.
just like life. So, and every time you step on the mats, you can't lie about who you are because that's where your character is going to show. So,
Mm-hmm. Does that kind of humble you too? It's
it
like a
does.
it's like a constant state of being
Yes,
humbled.
all the time. And
Definitely.
then as soon as you feel yourself, getting that ego, you got to check it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if not, it's not gonna make you enjoy what you love. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be worried about, oh, I didn't do this right, or that person did this, or this. You know what I mean? You're just
Mm-hmm.
gonna blame others and
So
everything.
who kind of did you have like a trainer, just somebody who kind of guides you in this journey, or how does that
Well,
work?
we have professors, right?
Okay, okay.
At the black belt level, so we learn from them, and then of course our training partners who are also reaching that level. Who there's different belts. It's from white to black.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of guide each other on it.
Mm-hmm.
But the main people would be like the professors,
Mm-hmm.
having that structure and showing us what the plan is and what works and what doesn't. So
Mm-hmm. It's like iron sharpens iron too
yes,
with the people you work with,
exactly,
right?
exactly.
That's cool. I never see. Like again, I never. I've seen it. I respect the
Hmm.
art.
Thank you.
How do you get started into like doing bouts? I guess these official belts you're going in.
Yeah, so it's like I said, it starts from white to black. So you beginner, it's white, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you get your white belt, and then from there you work to blue, and then
Mm-hmm.
from there it's purple, and that's where I'm at, and
Okay.
then it's brown, and then it's black.
Okay.
So like I'm in the middle.
How do you know? Like, yo, I'm ready for this brown belt now. Like,
Well, you don't say it. You just keep working hard, and then eventually your professor notices the progress,
okay.
and they decide.
Who's your
So
professor?
it's Matt and Jill Baker.
We love shout outs here. We
Yeah,
do shout outs on the S.T.S
Matt and Jill
podcast.
Baker. Yes, Baker's from Brazilian Jiu Jitsu,
Oh,
True
okay.
Jitsu. So
Okay.
yeah, they are amazing people. Amazing.
So do you study like the art of jujitsu, like from the beginning, like I guess whenever this art first started? Is that something you're into, like studying the game? I know, like just say with DJing, we know who the forefathers are of
Yeah,
DJing,
yeah,
or like um just what anything I'm in, like wrestling. We know who the forefathers are of
yeah,
wrestling, who put on for us, for we could, in order for us to be where we're at now. Like there
yeah.
was kind of like someone who laid the foundation for us.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I didn't really know what jujitsu was,
Hmm.
or who really did it. I just thought of UFC.
Yeah, that's
You
what
know
I
what I
think
mean?
of.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean? You think
definitely.
of
Yeah, yeah.
UFC, and then you think like I'm gonna go punch and box, or I don't know what, kick people.
Hmm.
But then it's jujitsu is just like I said, specifically controlling the body, and choking people and breaking limbs.
Hmm.
So you know what I mean. So you want to attack before they attack you.
Okay.
You know.
That's
you know.
I've seen your videos too, like your self defense videos.
Yeah.
Those are so cool.
Oh
Like
yeah.
especially for women nowadays,
Yeah.
the world isn't
No.
sunshine and butterflies either. You
Yeah.
know.
And you see that a lot now. A lot of human trafficking going on, and
Definitely.
like girls being scared not to be able, to walk to their car, at a school or their job, and that's why I put those videos up. And I haven't been consistent, but I should. I know I've been busy, but I
No,
know I should make
definitely.
that a priority because I know a lot of people could benefit from it. But yeah, I understand it's very important.
Definitely. With training, do you have like a training camp? How does that work out for you? Is that something that with boxing it takes 80 days they say to
Yeah.
get ready for a
Yeah.
bout. What how is it with jiu-jitsu?
Well, usually we do like a group, like with a team. So
Mhm.
we get ready. We have a camp. Like let's just say we're gonna do a tournament, a team tournament.
Mhm.
So then we start doing specific things during training or learning specific moves, and then so we have drills, and then we have a thing called smokers,
Mhm.
and it's just kind of like going as hard as you can for like 1 minute, and you get into that position first with your
Mhm.
training partner. So usually it's like that. But outside of it, on my own, is just kind of watch, kind of watching what I eat and, trying to, eat healthy, and then, doing my own stretches and workouts.
Mm-hmm.
And that would also help, in jiu-jitsu.
So in the beginning, is this something that you said this help you spiritually, emotionally with
Mm-hmm.
your with yourself?
Mm-hmm.
When did you first realize like this is what I want to do? Like this is not going to be a hobby anymore. This is going to be a passion for me.
I think it literally is like when I first started. Like
Tight.
I just loved it. I fell in love with it, and I just like wanted to see where it would take me. And then I did my first tournament within maybe, I think, 3-4 months of training, and I was just like, why not? I believed in myself so much.
You got to, right?
So I went out there and I was like, I want to keep doing it. And then I think like the first time I did it, I got third place, right?
Okay,
So I
tight.
was like, oh, I want to do it again. Like I know I lost maybe this round, and I think I could do this round. So I don't know. I think just from the very beginning, I just knew like I wanted to keep doing it.
I think when I know we can't win them all. I think what I heard, I don't know. Like I hear Joe
Yeah.
Rogan say it. Like this is the ultimate way to kind of find your inner self and just kind of push your limits.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something you experienced throughout this whole journey too?
Yeah, you have to. I think, like you said, we have to lose. We have to, because if not, then we're never gonna really understand and try to, challenge ourselves. We're not always gonna be the best in the room.
Definitely.
But you can be surrounded by a lot of people at that level. You know what I mean? But you learn from each other. So
I think we all strive to like. I want like for myself. This is just what I do. I don't want to be known as the best, but I don't play for second place either,
of
right?
course, yeah, no, I get you.
Is that something that kind of drives you too? Like you know you have a way to go, but you still want to push yourself to that limit
No,
where
yeah.
you want to be the best.
Yeah, and I think that, like, okay, that getting to that mentality is really like when you're out there, really, really focusing on what you're gonna do. Even if you're tired, you have to really tell yourself, keep going. Like it's gonna hurt, like when your heart's gonna come out, like you feel like it's gonna come out. But I don't know what it is. Like when you push yourself like that, and then you do it again, it just becomes easier and easier. And in the beginning, you just want to like I said, your heart's gonna come out, or you want to throw up or something. But it like that push every single time, you just get better and better. I don't know, it becomes easier. It's like second nature.
Definitely, it's like breathing.
Yeah, breathing. Yeah, controlling your breathing and not getting like psyched out or just thinking like, oh my gosh, like I
You
can't
still get
breathe.
nervous before these bouts?
I do. I used to get more nervous before, but I think now, like I said, I'm more focused on what I'm gonna do rather than what the other person's gonna do to me. So I feel like that's what keeps me focused and not scared or nervous. You know what I mean? Or what if? No, I'm gonna go do what I gotta do and what I've been training to do.
Definitely.
And then whatever happens after that, then I still trained and prepared myself for that. So
I think it's one of those things too. You don't go. Like, I was just talking this about my guy after last week. We don't go into any situation thinking we're gonna lose. That's not the mentality to win. Like we gotta think, not the best, but we gotta control what we control. We're destined to be here. Do you feel like I don't know? It's not divine timing, but jiu-jitsu is just something that was meant for you. Like this is your destiny a little bit. Like this is what you're here for.
I do believe that. I think that I went through a lot of challenges, and I really didn't know. I didn't really believe in myself. I kind of was like I don't know. Like when I was a kid, my parents were deported at 13. And
Did not know that. That explains why you're such an advocate. I think you said you're a warrior, you're an advocate, and
inspiration.
Inspiration. Yes, there you go. Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
And I know what my saying is. I don't say it from the teeth out. I say it from the heart out because I see that, and that makes sense. Though.
No,
Continue.
yeah.
Though. I'm sorry for interrupting. Go ahead.
You're fine. So yeah, I think that really just like gave me a passion to do what's right. Like I just felt like, my parents being deported at 13, and just like why would that happen? Why would God allow that to happen? Why would the government do that? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you just start
definitely.
thinking like, why? What's going on? And that just kind of like made myself like, I'm going to do what I can to learn more. And I'm never going to know more, but I'm going to keep going because that's going to help me try to help others. And I feel like jiu-jitsu has given me that. I did it, for myself, for my well-being, my mental health. But I think over time, because of what it has done for me, I can share it with others, and how it humbled me or opened my eyes to certain things or, just
So 13, your parents get deported. Where? So what's the next? 13's a tough age for anybody, male, female,
Yeah,
just any human.
yeah.
What was the next step for you in that point? Like, I'm really interested about learning about you. I'm sure
No,
the listeners are
yeah.
too. Like, what happens at that point? What was your next move?
Well, I don't know. I just thought like my world ended. Like
Oh my god, I can't even imagine.
I was, like I said, I went into like this depression, and I was just like I said, I couldn't believe it. I was like, are they coming back? Like, no, they're not coming back. So I don't know. It was just something that really like shaped me over time. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? It's hard. Like I lived in 11 different households since, maybe like 22. Yeah, 22.
Mm-hmm.
So I lived with a lot of different people, a lot of different lifestyles, a lot of,
It's hard to get you stability, right?
yeah.
There's
So
no stability.
yeah, no, and it's hard, like, because it's not like your mom and dad. You don't know what to do in another stranger's house or how to be, or So
Mm-hmm.
I think like I learned a lot of how people kind of are, or
Mm-hmm.
what, I don't know, how to be, how not to be.
Mm-hmm.
Just being a good person overall.
I think growing up before you were supposed to grow up too, I'm sure
Yeah.
that causes that.
No, yeah. So yeah, I felt like I had to grow up kind of fast, and then I have four other sisters.
I was just about to ask, are you the oldest
I'm the
or
second oldest.
second? Oh, that's still a
Yeah.
heavy
Mhm.
load to carry, I'm
Mhm.
sure. And you guys have to take care of each other and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Me and my older sister Daisy. Yeah.
Oh
So
God, that's
it's like we
crazy.
were like the mom and dad. you
Who
know.
did you guys stay with? Like after that, though,
We
once this happens, like what's the next step for you guys?
Well, that happened, and then we were there in the house for like a month by ourselves. So we were kind of, people would just come and visit or drop off the food or make food for us or something, and then kind of everybody decided what was going to happen. My three little sisters were going to end up back with my mom and dad in Mexicali. It's not super far from Bakersfield, about 6 hours. So they were going to go with my mom and dad, and me and my older sister were going to stay here with one of our cousins, because I know over there in high school you have to pay, and it becomes expensive. So we were already in high school, and I was just going to start high school. So they decided for me just to stay here with my cousin, since he was a teacher. So that's where I went to Marmonte my freshman year.
Oh, you're from the east side then.
Yeah,
Well,
like
you're east side in it then.
yeah,
Okay, okay. I love that. We east side in
Yeah,
here. I
of
love
course,
that.
yeah.
I love that. I love that.
So yeah, that's kind of like how it kind of happened. And then every other year after that, I have moved with a different family.
Oh
So
man.
that's why I kept moving high school. People are like, why are you new every year?
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
so I went to West High, and then I went to East High my junior and senior year.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it's every year I lived with somebody.
Oh, that's tough,
Up until
dude.
the year I was 22 years old.
Was that family or just?
Family, and then my junior year, like the end of my junior year, it was friends.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I feel that 100%.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I think, is that something that kind of built you for life though, right? Like
Yeah.
a journey you unfortunately had to go through, but
Yeah.
that made you stronger as a
Yeah.
woman, as a person, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, and I didn't accept it at first. I was just mad at everybody and at the world and God, and then over time you're just like, no, what a blessing. What a blessing in disguise. Beauty in the struggle. I understand it, and sometimes, like I said, it's good to go through challenges. You have to put yourself through challenges, because if you don't, then you're never going to actually grow or be who you are.
Definitely. And then I think what you said too, you can help other people, because
Of course.
so many, and I'm so naive to it. I'm really like, I've never had any experience like that, but I'm sure there's thousands of people still to this day. We see what's going on, even with previous administrations, this current administration. The children are still being, migrant facilities, or whatever they want to call it now, to make it, I guess to line the term, but no, they're still getting put away, and
Sad. Yeah.
that's like, I think that's super scary in my opinion. Like,
No, it really is, and I was fortunate enough and lucky enough just to have family here that would at least help. And a lot of these kids don't have that. They don't have family. They only have their mom or their dad or both. So I feel like I was fortunate enough to at least have family here, but a lot of them don't, and they end up in the system, in foster care, and
definitely.
or sometimes missing, human trafficking.
Yes, that's something that is going on
Yeah.
at an alarming
Oh,
rate now.
that's a booming business.
I would imagine so.
Yeah, it really is.
I
So
think, and this is kind of off topic. I was telling my friends, like, I think back in the day it was called pimping. Like,
yeah,
no, dude, it's called sex trafficking. That's
yeah,
what it is
it really is.
essentially. I think our culture, especially with hip hop, we kind of
Hmm.
glamorize it to make it seem like
Yeah,
this
it's
is this.
acceptable. Yeah, acceptable, and it's not.
Yes, it's crazy, right?
Hmm.
So with what you were going through at such a young age, was that, well, of course, that was kind of what you were going through with your depression and whatnot, right? When you found jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense
So
now.
yeah, I'm 19 years old. That's how it started.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So when you started doing jiu-jitsu, when did you finally it started kind of clicking, like, this is what it's helping me, it's helping me mentally, spiritually, like, was that something you discovered right away too?
I know. I think maybe like within maybe the first year,
Mm-hmm.
then I was like, okay, I kind of want to better myself for jiu-jitsu. 'Cause at the same time, I thought like, what can I eat that's much better for jiu-jitsu? For jiu-jitsu. And then like I started like looking into a plant-based lifestyle. So I was like, okay,
What I want to dive into, I'm
yeah,
so
yeah.
have no idea what
Yeah.
what that entails.
Yeah, so it's like vegan. So it's like you don't eat meat or dairy.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
I feel like me helping me like with that, like with it build my stamina, muscle. Like I feel so much faster and stronger, and I feel like jujitsu kind of made me like want to be better, like better, right, in all
Yeah.
aspects.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that for my like health reasons, and
Mm-hmm.
then I looked more into it, and then there was more stuff why I went
Mm-hmm.
vegan, but yeah, so that's kind of like
What would you tell? So with veganism, is that what it's called? Veganism?
veganism.
Veganism. Put me on. What made you want? I know you said health reasons, but when did you start seeing like the world's kind of, I know you're an advocate for
Mhm.
just veganism, but this, I see what we do to farm animals. I see what we do to me. I love eating meat. Pause. Americans, that's what we indulge in,
No, yeah.
and it's a ugly business.
No, yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, and trust me, like I ate meat like my whole life. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? And it
It's
just
ingrained in us, I think,
yeah,
for
and I
sure.
think because we're just kind of told that that's what we're supposed to eat.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You see it in the food groups at school. Well, who
Mm.
made the food groups? The people running the business.
You
You know what I
definitely.
mean? So you kind of start thinking like going back to why would the government do this to my family? Well, guess what? That's all human trafficking. You know what I mean? So there's business. There's always something behind it. So I feel like we really have to ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
So I think like veganism kind of was like, okay, I know I want to be healthier, but I also started seeing those videos of animal abuse and neglect, and
It was
and
even the ones with. I remember I seen this kind of fucked me up, honestly. Just
Mhm.
seeing how these animals are treated on these big farms, and they're all just stockpiled in this little crowded space, and how I'm sure you've seen the leaked videos of Tyson Farms where they're just
yeah.
abusing, torturing these animals to death, literally, like.
I've seen so many videos. I'm like, oh gosh.
And I think people are like, "Oh, they're not human. Like they're
Yeah,
animals. That's what
yeah.
we're supposed to do. We're supposed to we're gonna eat them. That's what we're gonna do."
Yeah, well, that's what going back to like the spiritual side. You know what I mean? I feel like, I know the supposed people say it's in the Bible, but like I would always think like if a God was so loving, why would He do that to His own creation?
Mm-hmm.
And I know there's a lot of like things that we can say, but
Definitely.
for me, my opinion, it just helped me be more like connected to others and even not our own species.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because they share the same planet.
Definitely.
As us, we live here too, and we should be able to help them, even though like they don't speak the same language. They speak a language.
They're alive
and
though.
they're alive. They protect their family.
Yeah, they have these instincts. Like I think it's just, I don't want to say mammal instincts, but this is just instincts that we're born with. We protect our own. And I can't say I'm a big advocate for that, but I do recognize that the older I get, I see that it's bigger than just us. It's we're all a part of this will. I don't know. Again, I don't know. I'm not. We can't. I'm not the most religious guy in the world, but I do believe in the universe and everybody who, if you seek, the universe is going to provide, and we're all one. And it's crazy. Like I think that's maturity, but just diving into asking questions. Why would God do that? I always ask myself too. Like if we have a free will God, if we fuck up, we're gonna go burn forever. Is that's what I've always been taught?
Yeah.
And one sin is worse than the other, but no, like you guys say a sin's a sin, right? Like and I think there's nothing wrong with questioning that. I think we need to ask questions. Again, with the government, we should. The moment we stop asking questions, the moment they got us,
Exactly.
in my opinion. especially with this whole pandemic.
Oh yeah.
Lockdown control
Control.
is really
The control and everything. They want to stick their hands in everything. You know what
definitely.
I mean? Like I said, even our own food system. That's why I'm saying that we need to really watch what we eat as well, because what kind of energy are you putting in your body? Going back to spirituality, you know, how do you want to feel? You know what I mean? That animal was, you know, living a really miserable life, and you're eating that
And
animal.
we're putting that in our
Mm.
body. That can't be good,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah, exactly. But like I said, maybe you don't care about animals, but veganism ties into environmental destruction. Do you care about the environment? Do you care about your kids' future? Like for them not to be climate refugees. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like maybe you care about humans, the slaughterhouse workers. They're a lot of them are immigrants.
Definitely.
They're immigrants. A lot of them are seeking asylum. You know, trying to move from these bombing countries. Or, you know, so or you know, there's just a lot that goes into it, and that's
So
something
much is
that
intertwined. It's
of
so
course,
crazy,
yeah,
right?
we're all connected.
This is
We all need to
crazy.
help each other. We need to like ask these questions. How can I be better? How can I be better for my community, for my family, for the world? You know?
I think, and then another thing, I was just talking about this with my friend.
Mm.
It feels like we're not we're so scared to speak up for what we believe in.
Yeah.
We're so scared of people saying no, you're wrong, and
Mhm.
we're gonna kind of that cancel culture type of vibe.
Yeah.
Even before the cancel culture was a thing, speaking out for the truth is something that people don't want to hear, or they're gonna kind of neglect you, put you in that corner. You're the black sheep now of
Yeah.
the group. Like, no, dude, you need to look at
Mhm.
what's going on with the government. Why how do I say this without fucking being sounding like I'm a
No, yeah.
crazy conspiracy
No,
theorist?
yeah.
Like even with this money, we're paying taxes every day.
Yeah.
Where is this money going to? Does anybody ever think about that?
Exactly. It's like, oh, I got money.
Yeah, and right now, the stimmy hit,
Yeah. Yeah.
everybody's happy.
Mhm.
It's
There's
14, and I'm
consequences.
not saying I'm sure we're all grateful for $1,400,
Yeah.
but where is that? What's the value in that now? Because we're printing that shit out thin air.
Exactly.
And now that when they want to do a tax hike,
Mhm.
people are so scared to say, "Well, why don't you want that?" Because the other guy was keeping taxes lower, so you're with the other guy. I'm like, no, it's the value of the dollar now. We're
Mhm.
talking about
Exactly.
that's going to pass on to our kids, or the debt is going to be passed on to my grandkids.
Exactly.
I think it's so crazy how we don't ask those questions because we're so
Yeah.
afraid of being shamed for it.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it's just people are too comfortable. You know, people are too comfortable. They don't want anything to change. They fear change. You know, they just don't want to get involved, or whatever it is. I think that
They're
you
cool with the status quo.
yeah,
Definitely.
exactly.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, but I think we need to speak up, you know what I mean? Or we need to at least try to change something in our life so people can see that, oh, it's possible to change. Oh, look, I can speak up. Or look, I can do this. You know, I was always scared to say anything, you know? And like going back, to veganism, or, trying to speak up for the animals, I would always get made fun of, or like people would write messages, like messages, or like they would just like really talk, down upon it. And it's like, why, if I'm really, it's not even about me. Like it's not even nothing about me. It's about them, And I think a lot of people just misinterpret a lot of things, or just like I said, fear change. Like, why are you trying to change it? Then they feel like they have to eat, just eat salads, but that's not true.
Yeah, definitely.
There's so much more.
What's so drop knowledge on me? I don't know. I've never ventured into veganism.
Well, it's literally the same thing. You can have a burger, you can have macaroni and cheese, you can have pizza, you can have all your favorite foods, but veganized. I don't know if you ever heard Be the Vegan here in Bakersfield.
Never.
That's pretty much a good example. If you ever want to go out to eat,
Okay.
they have burgers, they have chili cheese fries, they have like Peruvian lomo, which I tried yesterday. It was so good.
Okay.
They have like a bunch of different stuff. Everything's literally the same.
Do you feel better though?
Yes,
Do
I
you
do.
feel better? That's like, I think as we get older too, our body, it's decaying. Honestly,
Yeah.
does it make you feel better? Does it make you feel alive? I guess you could
No,
say.
yeah, it does. And there's two ways you can go, right? Because if you're vegan, yeah, you can have all the vegan junk food.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if you really want to be healthy, it's a whole plant-based diet,
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty much all like your fruits and veggies and your legumes, like, you know what I mean? So I feel like juicing. I don't know if you ever seen my post, but I juice a lot too. So I feel a lot better going that way. Don't get me wrong, I love my vegan junk food.
Yeah, definitely.
But I also have a balance. But I do feel better, and like I said, it has helped me in jiu-jitsu just be faster. Like my cardio is like up there, and even if I'm tired, I can keep pushing. It's that push that yeah, so I don't know. I feel like that's what it gives me.
Definitely. I see juicing. That's something I never ventured into. I
Yeah.
see it all the time,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I have no experience in this. Like, does that work? Does it? Is it healthy? Like things like that. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, it gives
I
you a lot of energy. You can lose weight. You know, a
hmm
lot of vitamins. You know, instead of just trying to eat your celery, well, you can juice celery and maybe some lemon and oranges and pineapple together. You know,
hmm
so you have all of those vitamins, minerals all together. You
And
know.
I think the more older we get, the more we're like aware. Like, yo, we need this stuff. I can't just
Yeah.
be fucking scalping down soda and Cheetos all day,
Oh yeah,
right?
no, no,
Good God,
definitely not. You won't
definitely.
feel good.
I would imagine so. Just what organizations do you like? Are you a part of any organizations, or do you like really contribute maybe to that, or do you just kind of just do your own thing? Hopefully, you spread the word and make others aware.
Yeah, that's kind of like how it is. I kind of just do stuff like on my own, but sometimes like I went once to like a vigil, you know, like a pig vigil.
I seen that. I
Yeah,
seen that.
one time, but I wanted to make it a goal where I go like you know, once a month at
God, that'd
least.
be mad depressing for me to go. Yo, I
Oh
don't know if I have the
yeah.
heart. I'm so like,
I was shocked. I just didn't. I don't know. I was just. I cannot believe it. It's like truck after truck after truck, and there's just so many animals there that look so sad and so
they're in
defeated.
fucking hell, dude.
They're in hell since the day that they're born.
Yeah, they know nothing
No.
else. It's crazy. I think, and it's about that money. Money's
Oh
a
yeah.
really evil thing. The more older, I'm sure
Mhm.
you understand too, the
Mhm.
more older we get, the more we realize this money isn't what we thought it was when we were
No.
kids. Like what people do to obtain this
Mhm.
money and that
Mhm.
power
Mhm.
and to hold it.
Mhm.
Once it's in their grasp, they're not fucking
Mhm.
letting go of it.
Mhm. Mhm.
And that's a reality. People need to understand too. And it's kind of off topic, but pandemic, Nick, how many rich people got richer,
Mhm.
and Nick, how many people like us, average Joes like you and I,
Mhm. Mhm.
struggled through this
Mhm.
thing, and we're still struggling. They think we could just throw $1,400, $600.
Mhm.
What does that really
Yeah.
do in the long run for us?
Yeah, no. It's just power and control, you know,
Yeah,
and making
definitely.
us, you know, they're painting an image that how we should be living, you know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
it's not true. Like I said, ask the questions, you know,
Definitely.
but yeah, they just, the control, you
The
know, people want that
the
power.
propaganda is a crazy thing.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm smart to see through a lot of the antics that we get been put in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
It started a year ago. Like they made it seem like 30 million people were gonna die. Like we need to stay home.
They were going to
Do-
drop like flies.
yeah, like what's going on? Is
Yeah.
this really? Why are you scared to tell us the facts?
Yeah.
Like,
Or they'll change something up like, oh, you know, no, now this works. Oh, now that doesn't work. Like, come on now.
I'm about consistency. Like even with the CDC, don't wear any mask.
Yeah.
Oh, we lied to you guys because we didn't want to have a shortage of masks. But
Yeah.
wear the damn mask. Double up
Yeah.
on the mask now.
And you put the gloves on and the goggles.
Yeah,
And
definitely. I've seen some crazy
I was
stuff.
like, what?
I
And
see.
then you go to the airport and then you see people with goggles. And I'm like, oh my gosh, because I have seen that.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
I'm like, I get it because people are scared and people really, really believe it. That's their belief. You know,
Fear.
they fear. Yeah.
Yeah, fear's a crazy thing.
Yeah.
It will make you believe and do things out
Mm-hmm.
of your character, I
Mm-hmm.
think.
Yeah, I think so too. But like I said, you just have to trust, you know, trust in God or whatever you
Believe in, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
in all the right ways. So yeah, I just think that we shouldn't be scared. Like we have one life; it goes by really fast. You know what I
It's
mean?
oh my god, dude. I talk about this to the kids all the time. We only have one,
Yeah.
and this thing's gonna fly by faster than you guys think it
Man,
is,
yeah.
and it's not guaranteed
Mm-mm.
you're gonna have tomorrow or next week or next month. And I'm not saying we're gonna ball out, we're gonna go fuck things up. Like no, appreciate the
Yeah.
times. Even the other day, my grandma just turned 83,
Mm-hmm.
and me and my brother were just driving back from Shafter, and I was telling him like, yo, we need us. We were as long as you're aware of what's going on, because we don't know if next year's going to be here.
Yeah.
As long as we're aware and we're appreciative of these times, because we're
Mhm.
30, 28.
Mhm.
A lot of our friends, I'm sure too, didn't have their grandparents at 10
Mhm.
years old.
Yeah.
And here we are, 30-year-old men, still able to celebrate our grandparents.
Yeah.
I think people really need to be aware and, how do I say this? Kind of appreciate those moments because you don't know what they're going to be here next year
Mhm.
because life is going to fly
Fly
fucking by.
Yeah.
Like, I never thought I was gonna hit 30. I
Yeah.
was so depressed about it, to be honest with you. Like, I was like,
No.
no, it can't happen. Not me.
No,
Like,
no, no.
this is downhill. But I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I feel as good as ever.
Yeah.
I'm as busy as ever.
Yeah, that's how I should feel. I feel like you should always feel like a kid. Like, you know what I
Definitely.
mean? Like, just always having fun, being curious, just doing it and not being
Hmm.
scared, So we should always keep that child mentality.
Do you feel like with jiu-jitsu, that was one of the things that you can't be scared, you just got to give it your best shot, and
Yeah.
who cares what others think? This is what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still feel that way?
Yeah, I do. I love it, and I don't like if I want to do it, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be scared, and so maybe I used to be really scared. I think because I was like, oh, what if this happens? But like I said, I'm not scared because
Mm-hmm.
I'm more like I know what I have to do. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? I'm confident in what I'm going to do, and whatever happens after that, like I said, I'm still gonna face it and
Mm-hmm.
try to do my best.
Preparation's a crazy thing.
Oh yeah.
Tell people preparation. As long as you prep,
Yeah.
you're gonna be okay. Like whatever happens, you gotta kind of go with it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but with my gigs, so I always tell people too. If technology fucks
Mm-hmm.
up, you keep going though.
Yeah.
Basketball, we miss a little spot there. We gotta keep it going. With life, we're gonna hit bumps.
Mm-hmm.
Like this thing isn't. I tell the kids now still back on my Highland. So
Mm-hmm.
this thing right here doesn't stop because you're going having a bad day. The sun's still gonna set. The sun's still gonna rise. How are you gonna bounce back?
Exactly.
I just dropped a shirt. Cheap plug.
Mm-hmm.
Execution, persistent or perseverance, consistency, and luck.
Mm-hmm.
Those four things are necessary in
Mm-hmm.
order to accomplish your
Mm-hmm.
goals, I think.
Yeah.
And I've learned that the hard way.
Yeah.
Like, how are we supposed to do podcasting if we're not executing? If we're scared to put shit out?
Mm-hmm.
If we're scared to do a gig? Like, we have to do these
Have
things. And it's not going to happen if you're not willing to take some L's. Not everything works.
Mm-hmm.
Perseverance. And I'm sure you've been knocked down the mat a few times.
Yeah.
You got your ass kicked a few
Yeah.
times. I've got my ass kicked in life several
Yeah.
times. Down to the dirt. Got nothing. Like, okay, am I going to just sit here and give up? Or am I going to be like, oh, let's try this again. Let's wipe ourselves off here.
And that
And-
motivates you.
Right.
Yeah.
And luck.
Yeah.
Sometimes the universe just puts you in spots. And I think you got to be smart enough to see the signs. Some people are real ignorant and don't see the signs. They think, oh, this is supposed to happen to me.
Yeah.
Like, no, dude, you gotta see, like, you're in a good spot. I feel like I'm so lucky. Like, I could have done 20 different things, but
Yeah, it's just taking that moment to be grateful.
Definitely.
You know, just be in that moment.
I think we need more of that in
Mhm.
just the world. Like,
Mhm.
I'm always telling people we have to just be aware, like, this shit could be gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna have regrets. I think regrets is an ugly thing.
Mhm.
You gotta make moves. I think you gotta keep doing things that make you happy. Like, everything I'm doing isn't work.
Mhm.
This isn't work. Like, just having you, someone who I really do respect, and just having you on here.
Mhm.
This isn't work. This is something I want to do. I want to get it out there, and
Yeah.
people need to take chances on themselves, right?
Yeah. Of course, all the time.
I think this is something that we all need to do. I think I see that with you. You take
Yeah.
chances, and
Yeah.
you're putting on like you're traveling the country to do your art.
Yeah.
So next bout, how's that gonna? What does that look like right now? I know you just announced it, right?
Well, belt level wise.
Oh no, like your next official
Like tournament.
tournament, yeah.
Oh, I'm actually gonna have a super fight this Saturday.
That's okay. That's what I was aiming for. Yeah.
This Saturday, in Folsom, California, so near Sacramento.
Oh yeah.
Area.
Everybody knows
So-
Folsom.
Yeah,
Shout out to
yeah.
Johnny Cash. Yeah. Cool.
So I'll be there this weekend. I have a super fight, so it's like one on one.
Okay, that's
It's a
cool.
no-gi tournament.
See, I'm gonna do some boxing, so we call them bouts. Like, I know what you meant by the orange,
Yeah.
but no, I'm talking about this is like a fucking fight, you know? Like, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
And it's a no-gi, so no-gi and gi, so there's a difference.
What's that?
So no-gi is kind of like you'd have like rash guard and spats. So it's kind of like what wrestlers, like if you're gonna go work out, like you just have,
Yeah.
but a gi is the actual uniform, like the kimono. I don't know.
Okay, is that
With
what?
the belt.
Oh, okay.
I
Is
don't
that
know,
what
I've seen
you're?
a
Is that
picture.
what you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
that's
So
the one
you
I
have-
posted. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's the one. You could do both. There's no-gi and then there's gi. So
I had
what I'm
no
doing is
idea.
no-gi.
Like the
Yeah.
dress. Is it called? I don't want to disrespect it. Is it the dress code? It's like a dress code.
Oh, yeah.
Kind
so,
of.
Yeah. So pretty much, what are you gonna fight? So you're gonna fight no gi and you're gonna fight gi because there's two different things. Because with the gi you have grips.
Okay.
You have the material grip, but with no gi you
Ah.
now have to control like the elbow and the shoulders and the head.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's a little different, but it's still the same thing.
Super fight. Explain that. How is it a super fight?
So super fight is just basically one-on-one. So it's me and another person, and we're just gonna go all out, one round for 6 minutes. And then from there, if nobody submits anybody, then you go into an EBI rule. So it's pretty much they can take your back or
Mm-hmm.
choose the arm,
Mm-hmm.
and they have to submit you the fastest.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so depending on what you choose, you can go and so I like to take the back, so I'll take the back and try to
Mm-hmm.
choke them within 2 minutes.
Okay.
So if that doesn't work, then you go to another round, and then the other round is first takedown wins.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So is there like a point system when you have a takedown, or that just it's just submission only?
so the first round would be submission only. This is all
Oh,
submission. So if
okay.
nobody submits in that first round, then you
Mm-hmm.
move on to that specific rule set.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
so like I said, it just depends on what tournaments or what you're getting yourself into. There's always going to be like a system. So it's
Mm-hmm.
all submission or there's points.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
That's cool. So, who? I guess it doesn't even matter who you're fighting. What are you doing to prepare for this bout that you haven't done in previous bouts, or is it just sticking to the formula?
I'm kind of sticking to the formula at the moment because I feel like it's been working.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
And I feel like now, at least, maybe I do this a little bit different. I actually rest.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the most important thing you can do because, if you don't rest, how is your body supposed to go?
It's all recovery for sure. Yeah, definitely.
And I feel like I'm just so on the go, that sometimes I forget to rest. So I would say I am actually resting a little bit more, stretching. Still doing, like I said, still training, still eating good. And, yeah, but overall just sticking to the formula.
And do you train every day, or what's your training schedule look like?
I kind of train every day. I think I probably take the longest is 2 days out of the week.
Mm-hmm.
7, but majority I train every day.
That's crazy.
So like in the afternoon, once I get off work at 5, then I just go train at 6:30 depending on the time schedule.
And that's a grind, I'm sure, right?
Then you train for like 3 hours.
Is that something? Well, how did you adjust to that? What was kind of in the beginning, was that something you had to really become accustomed to? Or was that something you got thrown into the line, like you just started doing 3 hours a day?
No, I just started doing in the beginning it was like that, and then I think working towards like my purple belt, I started working like training in the morning, training starting at 5 some MMA a little bit,
Tight.
and then all the way till 9. I would have like 3 training sessions within a day,
Mm-hmm.
and it was hard sometimes. Your body gets beat up, but I feel like now, like I said, I rest a little bit more. I train every day, but now it's from like 6 to 9.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a lot of training hour too.
No, definitely 3 hours a day.
Every day.
It's crazy. Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So like I said, I just try to find time to rest. Because I do train hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
What do you think about looking ahead? Is this something you want to continue to do? Is MMA a thing for you? Like, how is that? Again, I don't really know how that goes. Like,
well, I used to want to do MMA, like in the beginning.
That's tight.
I have done one MMA fight in my life.
Okay, that's tight.
That wasn't my specialty. It was, like I said, jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
I know I can incorporate that in MMA.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, I'm just strictly jiu-jitsu. Like, that's my huge focus. I want to get to the black belt level and really compete at, a lot of different events, professional events.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's my goal right now. I am going to do it as long as I can till like I'm 100 years old, I hope,
It's a great,
willingly.
it's a passion, I don't think we ever lose love for the passion.
No. So, yeah, it's pretty much, I see myself doing it for the rest of my life, and maybe one day, I'll open up a gym. I don't know yet.
That's well, I think we always want to get back to the next generation, right?
Yeah.
How important is that?
I would say it's very important. I feel like jiu-jitsu teaches you a lot of life skills, you know what I mean? To be humble, to be open-minded, to just be kind and just willing to help, like, and being able to, if you learn something, try to teach the other and never feel like you have to just beat up everybody. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's just important. I feel like even a lot of kids like that train at the gym, they're like straight A students, honor roll, like they have a lot of respect for their parents.
Discipline too, I'm sure, right? Definitely.
Yeah, and they're just so good, So I feel like, jiu-jitsu's like a beautiful thing, and again, a lot of things can happen for you. A lot of changes can happen for you. Good things.
Positive changes, right? I think that's all about, again, that's what the universe, that's all the universe, at least for me. I think, I don't know if it's karma or whatnot, but we're trying to do good things and put it out there. I feel like I got that vibe from you too. I think that's what we're similar at. I take L's too, but I'm not here just to broadcast the negative shit. There's a lot of negative shit we had in our lives, but why broadcast that? I think what we're doing now, we're trying to make it. We're trying to, I guess we're trying to just show what our spirit's been going through, and that's why I feel like with me, I want to keep putting positive out there. I want to tell people too, if you grind your ass off, and you go all in on yourself, you could do crazy things, yo.
I
It.
believe it.
I think that's like the craziest thing like I've learned so far. I didn't learn this either. Like at 20, it took
Yeah.
me fucking 30 years to be like, yo, you could do this, my guy. Why
Yeah.
are you scared of success at all? I think that's
Yeah.
something I go through
Yeah.
personally. Like I'm scared to succeed.
Yeah.
Like success is kind of scary to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I
So
don't
like
know.
probably like maybe when I get up there, like I have to keep a reputation or keep like a like I just have to be there and I have to stay there. But and I don't
Hmm.
want to show anybody maybe my faults or something.
Hmm.
I don't know. I think it just depends, on what you're scared of
Do you
exactly.
feel like you have to? Like, there's always somebody else trying to take your spot. Do
Hmm.
you feel like you have to maintain that spot? Is it competitive like that?
No, I just well, some people can probably be like that.
Hmm.
But I just feel like I said, if you just kind of focus on yourself and what you want to do and how you're doing things, like I don't think that should be any of
Yeah.
worry.
I man, it's a worry for me.
Yeah,
Like I always say, someone's gonna take my spot
yeah,
one day, and that's okay,
yeah,
because there's always that new young up and comer, especially in music.
yeah,
Like where someone's gonna take my spot,
yeah,
and that's fine. But
yeah.
I want to hold my spot as
Of
long
course.
as I can. I
Yeah.
want to keep putting my best foot forward, and just like you said, we never stop learning.
Mhm.
And it's just like I think DJing, podcasting, just life is all about learning and taking L's.
Mhm.
Like last week, man, you should have seen last week. I was always telling you about this battery situation.
Mhm.
I have these 3 cameras, yo, and it only came with 4 batteries. It was supposed to come with 6. I'm like, what the
Oh,
fuck do I do? Like, am I gonna have to stop the podcast? Actually,
yeah.
they're going pretty well right now. Good God,
That's good.
it's been. I've been just trying to roll with the punches, take the L's, and just try to make the best of them. And I think that's like a virtue. I wish people would really. I think we have a lot of complainers in the world.
Yeah.
We a lot of, hey, look at me. It's like pity, you know,
Victims.
victims, right? That's crazy. I think that's
Yeah.
and I'm not knocking anybody who does it, but I just think if we learn how to we persevere
Mhm.
and we just stay consistent and we
Yeah.
just believe in ourselves, I think we
Exactly.
accomplish so much.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta switch switch.
Definitely.
Because I would think that way. I was a victim, like I'm because of my parents. The beginning, you're
Mhm.
young, you're like, why me? Like leave me
Mhm.
alone. But no, I just you have to just take that and take it like a power. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? To help you move forward and get to where you want to go.
And your parents now? What's the status on your parents now?
Well, my dad passed away in September.
Sorry to
So
hear that.
no, it's okay. Yeah, and my mom, she's still there. We're trying to see what we can do, but it's just been hard. And
It's been an ongoing progress. It's
yeah,
ongoing process this whole time.
yeah, it's been like 13 years.
See, I'm
Maybe.
so on. See, I'm not. I've never been really. What's the word I'm looking for? I've never been aware of that. Like the process to even when you get deported or come back to the states, I would imagine that's difficult, right? Is that a difficult process to get them back over here, or just to get
Yeah.
her?
That it is difficult because I don't even know where to start sometimes. We already tried to start in certain places, but they never really worked.
Mm-hmm.
Or sometimes it was just a lot of money. It took a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Every application, literally every application was like $1,000 or like something. It was just always money, and I don't want to make that an excuse either. But I know there's a way.
It's a reality, though.
Yeah.
We don't all have the money to do what we have to do.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah, so that's just what we're kind of, trying to do at the moment. But we're just also thinking like if there's nothing that we can do, then we're gonna try to do the best. Me and my sisters try to do the best we can for our mom over there, and whatever she needs, always bringing her groceries or giving her a little bit of help with whatever she needs. So.
How often do you go back to? Is she still in Mexicali?
Yeah, she's still there. I actually, visited last weekend. So I before because I was in high school and I didn't really have nobody to take me and stuff like that. Sometimes I went like a year or two not seeing them.
Mm-hmm.
But now I feel like I'm making it a goal to go every month or every other month because I know I get busy too. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to make it a goal to be, a part of my mom's life more.
Oh,
You know
God,
what I
I
mean?
can't
Because,
imagine that, yo.
my dad passed away and it's just been hard because he always wanted to come back and that's all he ever talked about, and he went through depression too because he wanted to come back and he just felt like he missed a lot of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I didn't get to see you guys graduate, teach you guys how to drive and
So much things we take for granted, yo.
so much.
God damn it, that's crazy.
So much, and it just makes you think like I got to do this now. If I want something, if I say I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it now. There's
Mm-hmm.
no waiting. It doesn't matter about the time. It doesn't matter about the money. You just have to try to do something.
Definitely. Were you there with your pops when he passed away, or?
No, I actually visited. I visited him maybe like 2 weeks before he passed away. So
Damn.
it was hard for me because I just seen he was kind of like he went through a big depression, right? Like
Yeah, definitely.
I
What do you think?
no no depression before, and I just feel like a lot of things he did realize maybe that he took for granted. I feel like he knew that something was gonna happen, but I'm not sure, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't there. I just got the phone call 2 weeks later that he passed away. He had a heart attack. Yeah. So that was hard. You know, I was just like, I cannot believe it. And it broke my heart because all he wanted to do is come back. That's all he wanted to do. And he wanted to be with us, his daughters. And he always said that. And yeah, and, you know, it was just been hard. You know?
No, definitely, dude.
Yeah.
I don't. That's one. I don't know which one that was. I would imagine too. Like, I don't know, not having closure. Is that something that's still kind of?
Kind of. I think about it, and sometimes I feel a little guilty, I think, because I feel like we could have done more. But I try to tell myself no, because we try to do the best we can, even trying to take care of ourselves here at such a young age, you know. So I try not to have that guilt either, because, you know, why carry it? You know, I know that I told him I loved him, I cared for him, and, you know, but I do feel guilty in a way that he didn't get to come back, because that's all he ever wanted to do.
That's tough, man.
Yeah.
And that's all. And I don't know if that's how you feel, but this is all because of policies that we have here in this country. That even when I'm sure your parents were good law-abiding citizens, they still rip them apart from their families and take them, I guess, back to where, you know, Mexico, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's horrible. Like, why can't we make avenues for them to establish themselves back here? If they have family here, if they have roots here, if they're law-abiding citizens, they're only here to live this American dream. Like, why aren't they able to, I guess, produce avenues for that? I think I'm a big advocate for that. There has to be ways to make it easier for people like your parents.
Yeah. I'm sure there is a way. Like, I don't know everything, like the laws and everything that goes on, but I'm sure there is, and I hope they start making new laws where people can actually stay. You know, I just feel like, to me, I just feel like they do that because, like, going back to human trafficking, I don't know why that's so big to me.
No, definitely.
Because I feel
it's
like
a real thing.
Yeah, they get separated, right? So I even think about, like, going back to veganism, right? The mother cow has a baby, and every single time that baby is ripped away. You know what I mean? And I feel that same way. So I feel like we need to try to help in that area. What area can I do for families to stay together? You know what I mean? So I'm sure there's a way, but that's where we have to speak up, you know, and like, especially in the Hispanic group, I know we're really scared to speak up because we're scared, you know, because we don't want to be deported, you know, but we need to also look into the laws. They can't just deport you like that just because you say something, you know what I mean? So there's a process. So I just think that we shouldn't be scared to speak up, even if you are immigrant.
How long were your parents here for?
Well, my dad was here since he was 16 years old.
Good God.
So he grew up here.
Yes, that's what and I don't know. I know some people are really hard, but, you know, you got to get here the right way.
Yeah.
But if you've been here for 15, 20, 30, 25 years, you have a family rooted here in this country. Why can't we help those people, especially the law-abiding? They're contributing members of society, right? Why aren't there exceptions made? Why isn't there a process where, hey, you know, we know you're an immigrant here. Why can't we somehow, I could give you a front. We're going to give you this time frame here to get it right. And maybe I'm so say money is everything, but at discount rate, you should be laws or a rebate somehow to help those. Like, why would you do? I don't understand. We should give, honestly, let them stay and make them a citizen. Why not? What everybody like? There's so many people who are living off the fucking government anyway, who aren't contributing to society. I think that's heartbreaking, honestly. I wish there was a solution. I wish I was smart enough to tell you what a solution is, you know?
Yeah, no, I understand. It's just a lot, I guess, that goes into it, you know? You're just going to have a lot of things, always learning a lot of things. So I don't know. I don't even know where to start, to be honest. That's why I'm still having this issue, because I don't know. And, like, another thing, like, money problems. Not problems, but it's just trying to get to that goal, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Because
we all love being comfortable, but no, things take money. Things take money, and we're not all blessed with it. We could work our asses off, but there's some. I'm sure that's not uh that's not a process that's cheap at all. That is a process that's
Yeah.
gonna, it takes people's lifelines, takes
Yeah.
their savings, takes everything they work for, and they still might not even get the job done,
Mm, exactly.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sure lawyers cost fucking a
Yeah.
boatload too.
Or
And
you miss one thing on the application and
oh
they
my
reject it,
god,
but you just pay like $1,000.
does that have happened to you guys several
No,
times?
no, it hasn't. It's just that we don't know how to really like, you know, fill out the applications
Yeah,
because a lot of
definitely.
the things are what? Like, what does this? What does this mean? So we
Hmm.
do need lawyers, but then that takes money because you need lawyers to look at it.
Just for a fucking consultation, they're blood sucking lawyers. That's what
Yeah.
they're called. They're blood suckers.
So it's just like, yeah. So like I said, I need to look into it again. I just think we kind of stopped, but I just want to make sure that we can still do it. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? But 'cause she always talks about it. My mom always brings it up, and we hope, that we can do it. So we'll see. Maybe in the future. There's a lot of. I saw a video, and it said that they were giving people like legalization or green cards. I'm not sure,
Hmm.
but I don't know. I haven't looked really into it, so I need to look more into it.
So to get deep for a second, does that feel your passion when you're out there on the mat? Does that kind of take you away from your reality? I guess you could
Yeah,
say.
I think that was the biggest thing when it all started. My parents were my why. My family was my why.
Hmm.
I wanted to. I really wanted just to change, so I can kind of speak up for them. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? And like I said, speak up for others, or like I said, other species that cannot do it themselves.
Hmm.
Hmm.
That I think our why is so important.
Yeah.
I think we need that fuel. Like, what's gonna fuel us in the morning? What's gonna make us want to get up our asses out of bed
Exactly.
and keep pushing to, like you said, we're pushing beyond our limits.
Hmm.
We're tired. We're worn out, but we there's a bigger prize here. There's a bigger objective. You
Hmm.
know.
Yeah, you have to have a strong why.
I had no idea that
Yeah.
was your why, Barbara. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
So sorry to hear that, though, my friend.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine. You're strong for that.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any positive. There's none, but you're a stronger woman now.
Yeah.
Like, and you're still gonna. I'm sure you're gonna you're gonna do whatever you can to try to fix that issue,
Mhm.
if it is fixable. You know, I
Mhm.
think that's so important. Why we gotta be really aware of what our government's doing.
Exactly.
And I don't really know. I guess we don't want to get to like Biden Trump thing. I don't know where he stands on that. I'm not. I've never had anybody in that situation, so I
Mhm.
don't know.
Yeah.
Are you kind of like familiar with that? What
No,
he stands for? What this current?
I don't know. Before, I just don't look at. I don't pay attention to them, to be honest.
Yeah.
I just think it's like a big show. I feel like they put on a big show to distract us from the bigger picture and what's really going on. And like I said, like it's just going back to control. They're trying to control us in every way. Giving us all this free money, which is not free.
We're gonna repay that.
Oh
Yeah.
yes,
It's so crazy.
definitely. Going into our food system. Spreading chemicals in the air. There's so much that goes into
Even
it.
the hormones they put in these animals
Oh
is
yeah,
ridiculous, right?
yeah. They make them grow so fast,
Mm-hmm.
and so fast that their bodies are so big that their own legs break. Like they can't even stand.
Mm.
Yeah, it's just a horrible issue
No, that's
overall.
that's disgusting.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, that we eat that, and they
Mm-hmm.
eat all the chemicals and the hormones in that animal.
Someone told me this, like, you have a stressed animal,
Mhm.
and we're putting the stressed animal in our blood.
Mhm.
Like, how is that making us healthier, you know?
Making you more stressed.
Yeah, like, oh, God, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So, you put me on game on a lot of this. A lot of my friends are just, hey, we're going with the flow, and
Yeah.
things are just the way they are. We're fucking
Yeah.
happy to be alive, you know? And
There's consequences. Every action, that you do there's a consequence. You know what I
definitely.
mean? So we need to really be aware of what we say, what we do, how we do things, purchases. Like, you know what I mean? There's always someone going to be affected.
I wasn't even telling everybody with the stimmy today. Save that fucking money, yo.
Oh, yeah.
Save it. It
Yeah.
took me so long to understand the art
Yeah.
of saving the money.
Mhm.
I think we're so like we live in this era, like everything's now.
Yeah.
Like, no, do you need to save? You need to build up, because
Yeah.
not everything's gonna come to you. There's gonna be an emergency.
There is. Mhm.
Preparation again. I
Mhm.
think everything's prepping.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah, you have to really, because they know how to get you. They're gonna be like, there's sales at Walmart,
Right?
TVs, and that's what I'm saying. Be aware.
Mhm.
There's something happening going on within our government. Now, be aware of consumerism. You know what I mean? Be
Mhm.
aware of what's all the violent things that are happening.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just think that they put on a big show for us to be fighting with each other, and That's not the way it should
Even
be.
the way society's kind of structured right now,
Mm-hmm.
it's I don't know if you've really been keeping track with this little Pepe Le Pew thing. Like we're canceling these cartoons from fucking 50 years ago, but what about what we're seeing now for the kids?
Oh, I saw a meme like that.
Like
I
what?
saw that.
Look what we're doing. Like
Yeah.
why is that okay?
Yeah.
I like to be consistent. If we're
Yeah.
gonna say this person's bad for this,
Yeah.
but look what they're doing. We're enabling a lot of
Yeah.
shit. You know?
I think that they're making that normal for the younger generation. I think because there is a lot of pedophilia that goes on in government and in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
So they're normalizing it for little kids to be okay
The
with
next
that.
generation is
The
gonna be
gen-
acceptable. They're gonna be
exactly.
really they're gonna be raised with it, and they're not gonna
Yeah.
see what we see.
Yeah, and I think I don't know which state, but there's laws that pass saying that you can have like relationships with like up to like a 14-year-old.
Yeah,
Like if
definitely.
that's normal, like no, that's not normal. But they're trying to make it normal
Mm-hmm.
for us to accept it, but it's not okay. So we really need to protect.
Okay, we're back from a brief interlude. So, Barbara, just before we head out again, I want to just thank you for being part of this is a crazy. You're part of a crazy guest lineup, yo. Like, I really taken the initiative to say this is who I want on, and I kind of
Mhm.
just spoke into existence. Like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of obligated now to
Yeah.
do it. So
Yeah.
I'm really glad you came on, though.
Thank you for having me. At first I was like, what am I gonna say? Like, I don't know. Like, you know?
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be. I just felt like it was gonna be real organic, and that's why
Yeah.
even when we walked in, let's just talk on the podcast. I think
Mhm.
that makes everything
Mhm.
easier.
Yeah.
We didn't rehearse or anything. We just did a quick sound check. We're good to go, and
Yeah.
we're in here now. And I think that's the beauty of this. And I think people really like the organic stuff. It wasn't forced.
Yeah.
Again, my first time meeting you, but again, I want you on as many times as you want.
Yeah.
We're gonna be rooting for you. I root for you, yo.
Oh,
So
thank
again,
you.
jujitsu is a crazy thing. I've never I don't know anybody in jujitsu to be honest with you. It
Me.
looks. I know exactly. You're the one and only.
Yeah.
Um, worst injury.
Oh goodness. I popped my knee twice.
Wow. Did you tear anything?
Yeah. You know, to be honest, I never went to the doctor because
Wow.
I know they were just gonna tell me to like take a couple months off,
And you
and I don't
warriors
want.
don't do. Again, let me tell you why I think you're a warrior. When you train for something and you're about to go to battle with somebody who wants to fucking hurt you as bad as you want to hurt them, not a lot of people could be in a ring, a mat, a
Yeah.
fucking a wrestling circle.
Yeah.
You're a warrior, yo.
Yeah.
Like all that pain, sweat, tears,
Yeah.
what you've been going through your whole
Yeah.
life, like. You're a fucking warrior, dude. In my
Thank
book,
you.
that's why and you're an inspiration. I hope people could see that now they look at this podcast because I didn't really know a lot about you too. Now I'm hearing what you went through,
Yeah.
and I'm sure that's just the tip of the iceberg. We could go 2 more hours to talk about, everybody. And I know we all go through trials and tribulations, but what we went through that builds you up, and
Mhm.
sometimes we have to go through some shit to really learn about ourselves. I think.
Definitely.
And so it's crazy, man. So pop your knee out of place.
Mhm.
What's the worst injury you ever gave somebody? Do you try to hurt them, or is that just part of the
No.
game?
Well, in competition, yes, you know what I mean.
tight.
But in training, no,
Of
because
course
that's your
not.
training partner.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? If
definitely.
you have a submission, just let it go, or just
I'm
barely
sure it's
train
kind of
them.
like sparring, right? You go
Yeah.
75%, maybe.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not gonna kill your training partner.
No,
You need
definitely
them.
not. No, definitely.
Yeah, but if you're gonna go into competition, yeah, go for it. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Go for it.
I wish I had the balls to say, "Hey, let's do something for the camera," but I'm not doing that because if you fucking hot, I get angry if I'm hurt. That'll be
No.
tight. Now, one
Yeah.
day we'll do that. One day I want to get to
Yeah.
the level like, yo, let's demonstrate what our jiu-jitsu guest is gonna do to us, or just have one of my homies who fucking are so stupid to do it. That'll be
That's
cool.
funny. Yeah.
But I think you should definitely do the whole self-defense videos.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
should do venture.
Sure.
Like people really, I'm sure. I don't know how many views you got, but women need to be aware of they
Yeah.
could defend themselves.
Well, yeah.
There's ways to go about it. Maybe they see you, being in jiu-jitsu or practice any, I guess, martial art.
Mhm.
They could see like, hey, I could do that too.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
it's not just to fucking strike somebody, but self-defense to take care of yourself.
Exactly.
Do you think? I think I heard this somewhere. Do you think everybody should have some type of experience in that, just to have some
Yes.
self-defense?
Yes, of course. Yes, because you don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know if someone's gonna try to attack you. Especially like I said, going on to a lot of things that are happening in the world, you just don't know. So you need to always be aware of your surroundings. And if you can do that, and not just being like, hey, I can beat everybody up, but just being quiet about it. No one really expects it. Well, then yeah, you're just gonna come out like.
Is
What?
that how people kind of feel about you? Like,
Yeah, I guess people probably think because I'm so small, like I don't really do anything. Like, oh, okay, But then probably when they roll with me, they're like, what the heck? You know what I mean? She's fast, so she's strong or whatever.
That's tight. That's tight.
Yeah.
That's tight.
So, but yeah, it's important to have, and maybe I should start more of those videos.
And I think people need to realize too, just because you're going to jiu-jitsu, that doesn't mean you're going to go compete. This is going to be something just to prepare you, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the beginning, I didn't know about any of these competitions or anything like that. I just knew it because I loved it. It made me feel good. And now, if something was to happen, I can defend myself, and that's really kind of how it started. Then I started. That was like the main thing. But then all the extra stuff, which is tournaments, you know, that you can win medals or cash or just recognition, whatever it is, you know. Then that's another.
Is cash an incentive in these bouts?
So, yeah, some tournaments you can win cash.
Okay, that's
or
cool.
Super fights.
It's always good to win something off your passion. It's always good to make money off your passion.
Yeah,
I'm a big advocate for that. Like, yo, if you're good at this shit, get paid for it. I tell all my friends this stuff because, you know, I'm sure, especially in the field, we're all trying to find something entrepreneurish. We all want to, you know, sell clothes. We want to start our own businesses. We want to provide a service. Like, don't do shit for free, yo. Stop doing shit for free because people are going to value you more when you put your foot down.
Yeah.
So it's cool that you're going to get paid off your passion.
Yeah.
So if you have the barber from the first fight, is my last question. The barber from your first bout to the barber in a week from now, right? And it's on Saturday. What would you say is the biggest lesson you learned from your first bout to this last bout?
I would say is just being confident in my attacks. If I have something, just attack right away and don't wait like to set it up. Just do it. You know?
Don't hesitate.
Don't hesitate.
Tight.
So every time I think that's my biggest thing. Don't hesitate. Just do it. And I feel like every time it gets better.
Did you see yourself growing this much from your first, like now that you reflect back on your first bout?
Yeah.
Like you grew so much, you know?
Yeah, every time I go out there, whether I win or I lose, I learn something. I take it back to training and I work on it and I just get better from there.
That's the beauty of it, right? I think we gotta learn from, I think, and this is not an art like your jiu-jitsu, but from this thing right here, I fucking learn so much every gig. And I think we have to keep learning. If I tell people too, the day I stop learning on this shit, I'm done. I'm out the DJ game. There's no need for, I'm not a student anymore.
Yeah.
Like, is that how there's a jiu-jitsu? You always want to be a student and keep learning, right? That's cool. I like that. I'm glad that's something we have in common. Good God, it's an art.
Yes.
But episode 73, Barbara, I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
It flew by. Good God. I thought it was like 30 minutes. I looked down. I was like, fuck, it's an hour? How the fuck that happened? But anytime you want to come on, good luck Saturday. I hope there is a solution to what you've been going through. But that makes me fucking hate the government even more, honestly, and our fucking white man policies. Yeah. It's horrible. Do you want to give me shout outs, you know, to anybody at all?
Well, yeah, my friends, my family, all my training partners at jiu-jitsu, my professors for always being so kind and genuine. Connor, my partner, always there to support me. Definitely. My sisters always cheering me on. You know, my mom always too.
Definitely.
So yeah, just to all of them, I love them.
Definitely. For anybody who wants to be in jiu-jitsu, where are you at? Do you guys just take anybody?
Yeah, whoever wants to come out and train can come out and train. You know, you can try it. I think they give you about a month free or a week, but don't quote me on that. You have to talk to them.
Cool. I guess on the podcast, you said a month, my G. Why can't I get the month?
No, but you know, you got to talk to them. Yeah, just try it out. You know, you never know. You just might love it.
Definitely.
Yes.
We all gotta try something, right? We don't know unless we do. We gotta execute.
Exactly.
Definitely. Yeah. Barbara Quiroz, episode 73, EC3, the Gap Tooth Genius. I don't know what camera's working. We out, yo.
Thank you.
No problem. Problem.